Good afternoon. And welcome faculty, staff, alumni, students, seniors in particular. To Rally Day 2018. As you may know, Rally Day began as a commemoration of President's Day, but in true Smith style, our day has evolved over the generations with its own twist. We rally not in observance of a national holiday, but for the trailblazers in our own midst. Today is a day of reflection and appreciation. We appreciate an act so gravely absent in these inequitable and troubling times, the bold and diverse accomplishments of our 5 Smith alumni medalists and the members of our community whose acts of bravery and kindness have emboldened and inspired us. Today, you, seniors, begin to reflect on who you have been these 4 years and who you will become when you leave Smith. Did somebody say something about 88 days? Beginning to cultivate what should be a lifelong habit of reflection, may you rediscover this urgently needed practice in our frenzied world. I urge you students today to listen closely to the stories of those being celebrated, of activism, curism, entrepreneurship, clinical research, immersion into oppressed communities, for inspiration, but also for tropes of obstacles, frustration, and even failure. For we are not made great, any of us, by what comes easily, but how we grapple with the adversities in our own lives. Today, more than ever, we need heroes who have created lives we can look to, draw strength from, and imagine walking beside to help us unravel the dense web of violence and despair in our world. We celebrate today the ways that this institution has helped cultivate these individuals to be fully themselves, and for you to be fully yourselves. For you are Smith. You are engineers, artists, researchers, organizers. You are trans, queer, of color, courageous, shy, scared, vivacious, tired, energetic, and exemplary, all in your own varied and rich combinations. In the words of Ruby Bridges, who spoke here earlier this winter, you don't need to have a path. If there is no path, start a trail. Let us reflect, appreciate, and celebrate this community of trailblazers and this institution that has nurtured them and, at our best, cultivates the hero in all of us. Let us begin.
Mother Grace. Thank you so much. So good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you. So welcome to the 2018 Rally Day Convocation. I know. Here we are. It's my pleasure to see you all here today. We have trustees and medal committee members, alumni, faculty, staff, students, and guests, and a special welcome, a welcome back, in fact, to our medalists. Let's hear it for them. And there's one more special welcome to the seniors, the great class of 2018. So as you might be able to tell, I'm slightly under the weather, and I know. And I want to save my voice for some exciting announcements at the end of the program. So I have a pinch hitter. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the chair of the Board of Trustees, Debbie Duncan, from the great class of 1977.
Thank you, Kathy. And I'm delighted to celebrate alongside you on this very special Rally Day. It's such a privilege to stand in front of this group of august Smithies and seniors. Since you began your time at Smith, you have experienced profound changes in this country, in the world, and in yourselves. You have dedicated yourselves to your studies, to your service in our community, to activities outside the classroom, and to friendships that I can tell you will last a lifetime. You have developed powerful critical thinking and leadership skills, and I can see that you have put those and other skills to good use today, designing some pretty incredible hats. You look spectacular. The next time you come together as a class in just 88 days, you will trade these hats for ones that are just slightly more formal, and you will be joined on stage by your commencement speaker. More from President McCartney about that later on. But to keep you in suspense, today is about celebrating Smith, honoring our traditions, our alumni, and the community that makes us so special. Again this year, we have Rally Day house banners, beautiful, and of course, the hat contests. When you were all assembling in the campus center, our friends in the Smith Fund selected their favorite 10 hats. I know this was a really difficult task because there are some amazing hats out here. So I'd like to invite those finalists up to the stage now. So good. Okay. Are we in order up here? Where's 1, 2, and 3? Maybe we'll have 1, 2, and 3 down here? And you're 4, so let's, okay. Number 1? Amazing. Truly amazing. So what we're going to do now is that the faculty will award 2 prizes. 1 prize for the most creative hat, and 1 for the hat that best embodies the Rally Day theme, which is We Are Smith. I don't know how you're going to choose, because these are all beautiful. Faculty, the ballots are in your programs. Please fill them out now and pass them to the end of the rows you're in. And how about for you, why don't you take a stroll around, and go that way, and then come back in front. Walk to the end and come back. Okay, are the votes in? All right, we'll find out a little bit later who the winners are. And I'd like to thank our finalists, and how about a big round of applause? And we'll announce the winners at the end of today's convocation. So you may all take your seats, and we'll come back later. Okay, thank you all. Each year, as part of our Rally Day celebration, we honor outstanding faculty and staff. This privilege belongs to our Student Government Association. I invite the head of SGA and chair of the Curriculum Committee, Rosie L. Tucker, and Bay Heald, both from the great class of 2018, Vice President of SGA and Chair of the Senate, respectively, to step forward and present the Faculty Teaching Awards and the Elizabeth Wyand Gavel Awards.
Hello, my name is Rosie, and I've been honored to serve as the chair of the Curriculum Committee for the past 2 years. Each year, the committee selects 2 faculty members to receive awards for outstanding teaching based on student nominations. The committee has selected 1 junior and 1 senior faculty member to receive awards in recognition of their outstanding teaching and commitment to student success. It is my great pleasure to present the first award to Assistant Professor of Statistics and Data Sciences and Psychology, Randy Garcia. The committee would like to recognize Professor Garcia as both an enthusiastic teacher and mentor. In her nomination, a student wrote, "Her dedication to not only her field, but also to the learning of her students makes all her classes fun and worthwhile." She's also always personally invested in each of her students and makes an effort to get to know her students outside of the classroom. Professor Garcia is constantly trying to improve her teaching by soliciting student suggestions and feedback, frequently reshaping her teaching to match her students' needs. Her enthusiasm and compassion has helped her students to succeed and make the most of their academic experiences. Please join me in congratulating Randy Garcia.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the SGA. This is so scary, by the way. Thank you so much. Yes, to my seniors, I'll miss you so much. I just want to say this is my second year here, and it's been amazing so far. There's so many things about being a professor that make me nervous and uneasy and self-questioning, but when I'm with you, that seems to float away, so it's been amazing. Thank you.
It is now my honor to present the second award to the Professor of Study of Women and Gender, Carrie Baker. In her nomination, a student wrote, "Professor Baker's enthusiasm for the material, her eagerness to see young minds thinking and learning, and her enthusiasm for making herself available to students in whatever they need make her stand out as an excellent teacher. Her dedication to her field, as well as her compassion for each of her students, shines through in each of her classes. And a student even noticed that Professor Baker invited students with no place to go on Thanksgiving to her house. This dedication can be felt by her students and makes her a professor that goes above and beyond. Please join me in congratulating Carrie Baker."
So, I love Smith students. I love your brilliance. I love your hard work. I love your curiosity. I love your passion. And I love that you're loud. I want to thank my students. It's been a really hard year seeing women's rights rolled back on such a grand scale since January of 2017. Teaching you about what's happening, having you listen and care, hearing your thoughtful responses, seeing how smart, determined, and angry you are, give me optimism for the future. As I say to my students, dream big. I want you to be running the world in the future. I want you in Congress. I want you on the Supreme Court. I want you in the governor's office. I want you running the economy. And I really, really want you running the media. You are critically important to the survival of our democracy and our planet, and I'm not overstating. I also want to thank my colleagues in the Department for the Study of Women and Gender, other faculty. I want to thank the folks in the Sherrod Center for Teaching and Learning who push us to be better teachers, and in particular, Floyd Chung. I want to thank folks in Educational Technology and the Center for Media Production. Keep the technology going, yeah. And finally, there's someone here that's really special. My 82-year-old father, Patrick Baker. He's right over there. Dad, I want to thank you for all of your support over the years. We've not always seen eye to eye, especially on politics in the early days. In my teens and early 20s, you gave me a lot of practice in learning how to argue politics, and that served me well. You've come around on that front, and I'm really glad for that. They do change. But in all seriousness, I want to thank you for teaching me to value education and the constant quest for knowledge and understanding. And I thank you for teaching me how to never lose sight of the big picture. Me too, time's up.
Hey, hi, I'm Bay, and I'm Vice President of SGA, and I'm here to I'm here to present the Gavel Awards. So the Gavel Awards recognize a staff member of the Smith College community who offers outstanding services to students. One award goes to a service professional, and one goes to an administrative award. So the first award today recognizes Poonam, the housekeeper of Gillette House. Poonam was not nominated only by the residents of her house, but also by the Northrop Gillette Kitchen student workers. Poonam is hardworking and shows dedication through her attentiveness. Many students wrote of her friendliness in the house, as well as the efforts she took to create a warm and homey environment for residents.
Good afternoon, everybody. And first, I want to say Happy Rally Day. And thank you for all the students, they supporting me, my staff, Gillette and Northrop, my managers, everything is thank you very much.
So the second award is an administrative award. This year is a year when Smith's support of international students is more important than ever. So Dean Caitlin, Dean of International Students, is being honored with the Gavel Award. So Dean Caitlin is being honored for her commitment to the success of international students. Students wrote that Dean Caitlin is a great listener and that she will go above and beyond with any issues that surface.
So we're gonna blame this on the pregnancy hormones. But I just wanted to thank you all, to the international students out there. You, especially this class of 2018, you all know that I arrived 4 years ago, so I came in with you, and I will come back for graduation, I promise. But I just wanted to thank the Lewis Center staff for helping me to do what I do, and to the students, to the nominator, thank you so much. The students really are the reason I do this. This award is so meaningful because it comes from you as students. That's really what we are all here to, as staff, we come here every day because of you and because you make us, make the job worth it. So much of what I do ends up being rules and regulations surrounding immigration, and they are mounting and they are challenging. And thank you to all of the international students who make that worth it, for allowing us to be a part of your experience here, for allowing us to experience the world through you. I feel really lucky that I get to come every day to work and be a part of a global community to remind myself that the world is not a place to be feared, but a place to be celebrated. And I get to learn from all of you and your individual experiences and all the places that you're from and what you embody. So thank you for making Smith a better place and a richer place.
Thank you, Rosie and Bay, for those wonderful introductions, and thank you to the faculty and staff who are terrific examples of the wonderful people that we have here at Smith. And I'm proud of all of you who nominated these people and participated in the process, because it's important that voices are heard, and yours have clearly been heard today. So now we turn towards the awarding of the Smith College Medal. Medalists, we are honored that you have joined us today. You embody the spirit of Smith, and we're proud to welcome you back and honor your achievements. Originally, Rally Day was held to mark the birthday of George Washington, our country's first president. Since that first Rally Day in 1876, the celebration has evolved into an occasion when Smith celebrates its own, all of us. Through the Smith Medal, which we present here today, we honor alumni pioneers, alumni who have forged new paths and broken molds, alumni who are leaders in their fields, alumni who have changed the way we understand our world, as well as women's role in the world. I would like to invite Linda Smith Charles, class of 1974, and chair of the Smith College Medal Committee, to tell the story of the Smith College Medal. Linda?
Thank you, Debbie. In 1962, the trustees of Smith College voted to establish the Smith College Medal. The medal honors alumni for their contributions not only to their professions, but also to the world. A committee comprised of representatives from trustees, faculty, staff, and the Alumni Association recommends candidates for the award to the Board of Trustees. At this time, I would like to ask members of the Smith Medal Committee to please stand and be recognized for your outstanding work. Medal Committee members, stand. Thank you. The medalists have been selected for their vision, innovations, and their contributions. Each alumna has had a lasting and meaningful impact on the world at large by changing the way we think, how we work, and how we live. Good stuff. Over the past century and half-century, our medalists have included famous chefs, pioneering senators, renowned activists, and beloved artists. Before we continue with the awarding of the medals, I would like to let you know that unfortunately Kimberly Scott, class of 91, is unable to join us today due to a family emergency. She celebrates with us in spirit, and her family is in our thoughts. It's now my pleasure to invite Debbie Duncan back to the podium to award the Smith Medals.
This is such an honor, I have chills. So our first recipient, Rochelle, or as she's known to all of us, Shelley Braff Lazarus, class of 68 and business leader. That businesses and corporations around the world pay attention to the needs and interests of women is a credit to the indelible impact you have had on the advertising industry. Throughout your 40-year career as an advertising executive, rising from an assistant at Clairol to CEO and chair of advertising giant Ogilvy and Mather, you were often the only woman in a room full of ad men. When they had a question about how to market a product to women, you were expected to have an answer. To be the voice, as you once joked, quote, for all women everywhere in the world, unquote. In leading these conversations, you have guided the marketing of some of our most iconic brand names, ensuring that women's experiences, women's voices, and women's stories are depicted authentically and thoughtfully. Your influence extends beyond the ads we see to the creative teams and boardrooms behind the scenes. Having received countless awards for your leadership, you have earned your place among the greatest and most influential women in business. For accomplishments that have made you a leader, cultural innovator, and business icon, Smith College is proud to honor your achievements and award you the 2018 Smith College Medal. And Shelley.
I'd like to bottle the energy in this room because it could certainly change the world, just no doubt. So I try to never forget that had I not gone to Smith College, I would not be who I am or where I am. I feel that profoundly as I stand before you today and accept the Smith College Medal. I do feel, however, that I should be the one giving the medal to Smith in recognition of all this remarkable institution has given to me, and here's why. First, Smith taught me to think and express what I thought with conviction and confidence. When early on in my career, I was the only woman in the room, even when we were talking about mascara or tampons, I never once felt afraid to speak up. I had gone to Smith. The thought never, ever occurred to me that a woman could not do anything. The people I went to college with, who happened to be women, could do anything. I had seen the live demo, as we say in my business, watching my classmates during my 4 years here. I had no doubts. When I was asked to take on more and more responsibility at Ogilvy, the company where I spent most of my career, my answer was, of course I can do that. I went to Smith. Smith opened my mind to ideas and made me hungry to experience everything new and unexplored. As my job became increasingly international, and I had to travel to places far from what I knew as familiar, I would always remember what it was like arriving at the apartment in Paris, 4 Rue d'Assas, my first night of junior year abroad. Now that was different for a 19-year-old who had never been outside of the United States before. Asia, Africa, Latin America, bring them on. I went to Smith, junior year abroad. Some of my best friends today are my Smith friends. Who would have imagined that 50 years on, my great friends then would be my great friends now? My great friend Susan Green is sitting right in front of me. We met. Susan and I sat next to each other on the first day of class, freshman year, in Psych 1-1, and we have been friends ever since. But you know, that these friendships, that is part of the magic of this place. Remarkable women, having shared 4 remarkable years that shaped us and readied us for interesting lives, bonded forever to each other and to Smith. That's the magic of this place. Finally, and maybe most importantly, had I not gone to Smith, I would not have met George, my wonderful husband of 48 years on this March 22nd. George is there. We are the classic Smith-Yale romance. We met at a breakfast in New Haven when I was a sophomore and he was a junior. And here we are, 3 children and 5 grandchildren later. Thank you, Smith College, for all of this. I am in your debt. My commitment and my gratitude are unending. Thank you.
So impressive. And now, our next medalist, Anne Stringfellow Maston, class of 73, and psychologist. We are products of our own outrageous fortunes, you tell us, of war and peace, of want and plenty, of roots and uprooting. You have shown, though, that true resilience comes not from surviving rare and exceptional ravages, but from, in your words, the, quote, ordinary magic, unquote, of nurturing in everyday lives. You have shaped your research into a powerful tool for advocacy, turning your findings towards how we understand, target, and intervene to promote success in at-risk populations. You highlight the need to foster consistent support through the protective influence of social services, parental involvement, and basic resources that ensure all children can grow their own adaptive systems. You wrote, and I quote, "What began as a quest to understand the extraordinary has revealed the power of the ordinary," unquote. Working with colleagues across disciplines and borders in such roles as leader of the Project Competence Longitudinal Study on Risk and Resilience and distinguished professor at the University of Minnesota, you have helped to develop integrated approaches that support those facing disaster and loss. For your research and advocacy, Smith College is proud to honor your achievements and award you the 2018 Smith College Medal.
Wow. Words really can't express what I felt like when I first heard about this or what I feel like right now. Surrounded by such amazing women in this context of Smith College. Smith College was the first school I ever chose for myself and one of the best of two decisions I ever made. It's the first school I attended for 4 whole years. And that's because I grew up in the military. By the time I was 16, I had moved about 25 times. I lived in Japan and Germany, and many homes across the US. I had experienced a father deployed during the worst year of the Vietnam War and fear of him never returning. But fortunately, I had the protective influence of a close family and parents who made an adventure out of moving. But it's probably not a coincidence that I grew up to study resilience. Talbot House quickly became my home. Yay! And it still feels that way when I come back for reunions and here today. My housemate Betsy Shapiro is here today, and I'm looking forward to seeing many others of my housemates this May for our 45th reunion. Last night, we had a special dinner at the President's house, and I realized that the last time I was there in the President's house, more than 45 years ago, I was one of the servers. That was actually my favorite job during my years at Smith. Besides learning to serve from the left and remove from the right, and avoid spilling water on the guests, I learned many other and some unexpected things from Smith College. My education was pretty spotty when I arrived at Smith, and I soon realized I didn't know how to write. I still remember the shock of getting back papers that were marked A for ideas and D for writing. It took years for me to become a decent writer, and it never would have happened without the feedback from professors who took my ideas seriously enough to really critique my writing and help me to learn. I discovered psychology kind of late in my years at Smith. And in my senior year, I took 2 seminars with a professor who would change my career, Elsa Siepola. She sent me on a job interview with a scientist at NIH, David Shakow, a renowned clinical psychologist who I had never heard of. Elsa also insisted that of course I would be planning to go to graduate school, even though I had no such notion myself at the time. I didn't know it then, but Elsa had sent Smith graduates to NIH for research training with David for many, many years. And during my time as an NIH gopher, I not only figured out I wanted to be a clinical psychologist, but I met my third mentor. When I met him, Norman Garmezy was just starting a new program of research on children at risk for problems who nonetheless succeed in life. I was intrigued. He recruited me to Minnesota for my PhD in clinical psychology. My life and career has benefited from an abundance of remarkable women and men, including these mentors, but also many others. Strong, funny, sassy Southern women who anchored my childhood as I was moving around, especially my mother, grandmother, and a bevy of amazing aunties. An engineer father who taught me a year of math in 2 weeks so I wouldn't lose ground in a new school, and cashed in an insurance policy to help me go to Smith. A husband, who's sitting right there, Steve Maston, who has supported my career from my freshman year at Smith to today, close to 50 years. I met Steve at a mixer at Wesleyan in 1969. Yes, those were the road tripping days. And this is the second best decision I ever made in my life. I took the bus to Wesleyan and not to Yale because it was $1 cheaper. Steve and I married my junior year during semester break, which was unheard of during the feminist wave of the time. But my career would not have been possible without his incredible support during my whole career time. My research has focused on resilience for many years. I try to understand how we can develop the capacity to withstand and recover from catastrophes of many kinds. In many ways, some you know, and some you don't realize yet. I'm speaking to all the students in the room. Your experiences at Smith are building human and social capital. Smith is shaping your personal resilience, and through you, the capacity of your future families, work organizations, communities, and societies to weather the storms that are surely coming. We live in turbulent times. The world needs your minds, your passion, your loud voice, your action, and your leadership. It's an incredible honor to be here with you today and accept this medal.
I think our medal committee has done an unbelievable job. Our third medalist, Rebecca Rabinow, class of '88, and an art curator. Your career has been a triumph of both passion for the arts and intelligent vision for what a museum could and should be. With scholarly heft and an intensity of commitment to the spaces where exceptional art collections offering new interpretations and unexpected connections are an integral part of a visitor's experience. You have risen to the upper echelons of influence in that field. Your work to promote the study of modern art brought you early professional success as a leading curator at the New York Metropolitan Museum of Art, and led to your role as founding curator in charge of the Leonard A. Lauder Research Center for Modern Art. That success continued when you became the first woman director of the prestigious Menno Collection in Houston, Texas. Recognized as one of America's most watched museum directors, you still have found time to extend yourself generously to philanthropic and academic causes and to your alma mater. alma mater, where you served as a member of the Smith College Museum of Art Visiting Committee for 5 years and offered your time and expertise to many Smith students and alumni visiting the Met. For your dedicated vision and for enlarging our sense of wonder and appreciation for the arts, Smith College is proud to honor your achievements and award you the 2018 Smith College Medal.
Well, thank you very much for this honor. For those of you sitting here, I'd like to say I was you, and I never for one moment thought I would be here on this stage. You've had two amazing women come up here and tell you about their experiences, and I hope you've heard it takes a village to do great things. It takes your professors here at Smith, it takes your family. In my case, it certainly took my husband, Matt Ringel, who helped me raise two amazing boys. It takes your friends, some of whom are here today. Use these people, cultivate these relationships. The people you are sitting with today may be your supporters and coworkers tomorrow. I have a challenge for you. That's right, sit up straight. If you're wearing a hat, straighten it. Sometime in the next few weeks, I want you to walk into the Smith College Museum of Art. Go with friends or go by yourself. Stroll around. If you've never been there, make sure you check out the cool bathrooms downstairs. They're designed by artists. And then I want you to choose a room of art. The permanent galleries usually work best for this kind of exercise. I want you to go up there, take a few minutes to look around, and hone in on a single work of art that intrigues you. Force yourself to just pick one, and not the entire work, but some detail that intrigues you particularly. Maybe there's an odd iconographic element, or a curious juxtaposition of colors, or a technique that you find intriguing. Now, take a minute and think, what motivated the artist? What was the intention that was conveyed? Why was the artwork made in the first place? The key to this exercise is to be as purposeful in your thinking as you can be. And consequently, and this is really important, you must say your question about the artwork out loud. Now, if that is not in your comfort zone, you can say it in your head, but at the very least, use a complete sentence. Not while you're walking to the next room, stand and look and say this question. Now, of course, this exercise is going to be particularly rewarding if you're accompanied by a friend who's an art historian who can share her expertise and give you some context. Sometimes the wall label will address your question, but do not cheat and look at the wall label first. And bonus points to any of you who show the initiative to find the answers to your questions afterwards. So I want you to do this in 2 or 3 rooms, and that's it. It might surprise you to hear that recently the dean of a prestigious business school predicted that in the not-so-distant future, artists will be their most coveted applicants. Why? Because creativity is increasingly prized. Today, not enough people engage in critical thinking. More and more, novel ways of seeing the world around you and thinking about it are valued. Smith College has one of the best college museums in the country. Use it. Use it as a resource to develop your eye and your curiosity. No matter what your life goals are, this practice will serve you in good stead. And there's an added bonus. You will be communicating with artists throughout time and from around the world. Art can be soothing, challenging, provocative, awe-inspiring. Spending time looking at it in a museum, really seeing it, that is an extraordinary experience. and one that may impact your lives more than you might ever imagine. Congratulations to all of you.
Okay, thank you to our medalists. That was fabulous. And we will now have a song, and I will bring Rebecca. Okay, that was beautiful. Thank you. In just a few months, we'll come together again to celebrate your accomplishments as the great class of 2018. We will celebrate what you have achieved both on this campus and in the larger community. We will mark your transformation from students to alumni and welcome you into a 48,000 strong network of amazing Smith alumni. Alumni like the medalists we have honored here today. As we celebrate our community, I want to remind you too of our shared history of philanthropy of women helping women. This college was founded with a gift and with a dream that its students and graduates would carry forward a great tradition of lifting up the next generation. Through their own gifts to the Smith Fund, the alumni with us today have helped you reach this important milestone in your Smith life. Now I ask that you do the same for the students who will follow you. Class of 2018, President McCartney and I are issuing you a challenge, another one. From today until your commencement, President McCartney will donate $5 for every gift of $5 or more from the senior class. Make your gift to the Smith Fund so she can make hers. If everyone in the class makes a $5 gift, it will cost Kathy more than $3,000. And since I'm standing in front of you today, I'll match that. So if you do it, it's $6,000. So let's be successful. Together, let's rally for Smith. Let's rally for women's education. It's needed now more than ever in our history, and ensure that the students of tomorrow have access to the remarkable experience we call Smith. Now, I believe we have a little other business to attend to. Wow. I guess really it's the hats and the banners. So I'd like to invite Smith Fund did I hear some groaning? I'd like to invite Smith Fund intern Alana Young, class of 18, make that the great class of 2018, to come to this stage. Thank you. Dun, da, da, da. I feel like I'm in the Academy Awards. Okay, so the 2018 for the most creative, number 2, Max Ranieri. Max, could you stand? Okay, there's Max. Stand there. And number 1, for the best use of theme, Sarah Barbie. Where's Sarah? Can Sarah stand? I can't see Sarah. So for both Max and Sarah, you can pick up your prizes in the Office of Student Engagement. In addition, we're also awarding prizes for the house banners. Each winning house will have $100 added to their treasury. I know that will be well used. For the best use of Rally Day theme, the banner award goes to Morrow House. Hey, Morrow. And for the most creative, wait for it, Chapin House. Hey, Chapin House. Thank you again to our winners, judges, and volunteers. So I think we're done. I think we're finished. No? Well, that's the end of my notes. So, Kathy, I think you better help me out here.
Thank you, Debbie. Didn't she do a great job pinch hitting? So I might have 1 or 2 or 5 bits of news to share. It's my pleasure to tell you about the special guests who will join us to receive honorary degrees at commencement. It's a great class. Each year we invite exemplary individuals, including a local hero, to receive honorary degrees from Smith. They're nominated by students, faculty, staff, alumni, and trustees. The nominations are reviewed by students, faculty, and staff who comprise the Committee on Honorary Degrees, and the degrees are approved by the Board of Trustees. This year's honorands are models of achievement and leadership in their chosen fields. Are you ready? Okay. They are in alphabetical order. The first is someone well-known and beloved by this college, whose legacy is felt everywhere at Smith and far beyond in higher education. The first female chancellor of the University of California, Berkeley, Smith College President Emerita, Carol Tekla Christ. Next is a scholar, activist, and critical race theorist well known to you. For her, we are indebted for the concept of intersectionality. Kimberly Crenshaw is coming. The next is a Smith alumna, the Academy Award-winning filmmaker, journalist, and documentarian, Charmaine Obey-Chinoy, class of 02. Our next person is our local hero. He is admired by many of our Ada Comstock scholars. An outstanding education leader, president of Greenfield Community College, Robert Pura. And now your commencement speaker. In this year, when we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Smith College Poetry Center, we have invited a Pulitzer Prize-winning poet, a recipient of the 2011 National Medal of Arts from President Barack Obama, the youngest person and the first African-American ever to hold the title Poet Laureate of the United States, Rita Dove. Seniors, I know you, along with your family and friends, will join me in welcoming all of our honorary degree recipients to campus in May to celebrate your commencement. So congratulations to the medalists, to their family and friends, and of course to the seniors, the Smith College class of 2018. We will now have a reception by the Campus Center. Could we have had a better day? I don't think so. Thank you. Thank you.